The gravity of Nikola Jokic's presence isn't just measured by the numbers he posts or the records he breaks, it's in the way his very existence on the floor reorganizes opposing game plans. Every possession with him involved is a puzzle for the defense, a sequence they must decode in real time. The problem: Jokic doesn't just read the floor, he writes the script. He controls tempo like a conductor with a baton, deciding when to speed things up, when to drag defenders into the post, when to shift the spacing outward and turn a simple action into a scoring opportunity for a teammate. When he's out, the Nuggets look ordinary. When he's in, they look inevitable. Nikola Jokic just sent a message to the entire NBA loud and clear. After missing 5 straight games, the Joker returned like he never left, dropping a 39-point triple-double on the Milwaukee Bucks, his 30th of the season. But this wasn't just another big performance, it was a statement. A franchise record was shattered, an NBA milestone was reached. And Jokic reminded everyone that MVP race or not, he's still the best player on the planet. And with the Nuggets finally getting healthy, the rest of the league might have a serious problem on their hands. Jokic has played a lot of great basketball throughout his career, but this season he hasn't just been great, he's been operating at an all-time level. Averaging a triple-double across an entire season was already a historic accomplishment, but March saw him take it even further. In the first 8 games of the month, he averaged 29.3 points, 13.6 rebounds and 9.0 assists per game, plus 1.6 steals, 1 for threes and nearly a block per contest. He logged nearly 40 minutes a night and did all this while battling a nagging ankle injury. Denver had to make a tough call: keep pushing Jokic for playoff positioning or let their MVP rest and recover. They chose the latter. Jokic later admitted the injury was limiting him in ways that affected his game. I couldn't really jump on my left leg, so it was really painful. It was just better to feel good. I don't want to be on the floor and feel nervous because I can't play how I want to play and at the level I want to play without him. Denver looked like a different team. The offense lost its rhythm, defensive gaps started to open. His impact was undeniable. In the 5 games Jokic missed, the Nuggets went just 2-3 in a tightly packed Western Conference. That kind of skid could have major consequences that made the matchup against the Bucks even more important. Jokic was back in the lineup after a 5-game absence, and the Nuggets finally had good news to celebrate: no Giannis, no Dame for Milwaukee, and more importantly, a fully healthy Denver squad for the first time in weeks, with Jokic, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon all available. The Nuggets were back to full strength, and when Denver is whole, everything changes. Jokic's return wasn't just timely, it was thunderous. He put on a show, dropping 39 points, grabbing 10 boards and dishing out 10 assists in a 127-117 win over the Bucks. Nearly 2 weeks off and he walked right back in like he'd never missed a beat. His efficiency was ridiculous: 64% from the field, 3 of 6 from deep, and complete control over every possession. Milwaukee simply had no answer. He bullied defenders in the paint, dissected them from mid-range and stretched the floor just to keep them guessing, but his scoring only told part of the story. Jokic ran the offense like a true point guard, controlling tempo, finding cutters and orchestrating every movement. The highlight of the night: and no look over the shoulder dime to Aaron Gordon, one of those passes that defies logic. Spinning away from his defender, Jokic flipped the ball blindly behind his head and somehow hit Gordon in stride for an easy dunk, a pass so absurd it had to be seen to be believed. That play punctuated his 30th triple-double of the season, breaking his own franchise record and placing him in rare air. Jokic became just the 4th player in NBA history to tally 30 triple-doubles in a single season, joining Oscar Robertson, Wilt Chamberlain and Russell Westbrook. That's not just good company, it's all-time company. This wasn't just another night at the office, this was another reminder that the Seasonic is having belongs in the history books. While Jokic was the headliner, Denver's entire roster showed up for the first time in weeks. The team had rhythm and results. Michael Porter Jr. snapped out of his shooting slump with authority, finishing with 23 points, 10 rebounds and a near-perfect 6 of 8 from deep. His final 3 in minutes was the dagger that sealed the win. Christian Braun was just as impactful, dropping 19 points, grabbing 10 boards and dishing 6 assists. Jamal Murray added 17 points and 6 dimes, keeping the offense humming off the bench. Pton Watson delivered one of his best performances of the season: 12 points on 6 of 8 shooting, 7 rebounds, 2 assists and 3 blocks. The Nuggets didn't just win, they dominated. They shot 54.4% from the field, nailed 43.2% of their threes, and turned defense into offense with a 20-5 edge in transition points. This was the version of Denver that won a championship: balanced, efficient and fully locked in. Even without Giannis and Dame, the Bucks didn't roll over. They made runs, found momentum and even grabbed a 5-point lead in the 3rd quarter. But with Jokic at the helm, Denver never flinched. The lead disappeared as quickly as it came. Denver dictated the game on their terms. After the game, Jokic summed it up best: we want to be able to go to the playoffs and perform at our peak, and we can't do that without being on the floor. This win wasn't just about the standings, it was about timing. With the postseason looming, the Nuggets are finally getting healthy, and if this game was any indication, they might be finding their groove at the perfect time. Coach Michael Malone said it best: it would be great to have a chance to get the starting 5-year run together because we haven't had a lot of opportunities to do that this season. That's been Denver's biggest obstacle not the opponents, not the standings, but their own health and lack of continuity. When Denver has their full starting five, Jokic, Murray, Gordon, Porter Jr. and Braun, they are a nightmare matchup for anyone, but consistency has been the issue. Without regular floor time together, the chemistry that made them champions has been hard to recapture. That's why this win over Milwaukee felt different. For the first time in a long time, Denver looked whole, and with the postseason approaching, they don't just need wins, they need rhythm. This game showed they might finally be building it, and if this game proved anything, it's that Nikola Jokic is the heartbeat of the Denver Nuggets. Without him, the team sputters. A 4-7 record without their MVP, including a 2-3 stretch during his most recent absence, tells the story. Replacing Jokic isn't just difficult, it's impossible. This season he's operating on a level reserved for legends, averaging a triple-double, something only Oscar Robertson and Russell Westbrook have achieved over a full season, but Jokic is doing it as a center, something no one in NBA history has done. Through 63 games he's putting up 29.3 points per game on a wild 57.6%, 6% from the field, 41.5% from 3 and 83% from the free throw line. He's top 3 in all major statistical categories, something no player has ever maintained over a full season. Jokic is a one of one, the pinpoint passes, the effortless scoring, the way he elevates everyone around him when he's on the floor. Christian Braun shines, Aaron Gordon becomes unstoppable. That's how dangerous this team is at full strength. With the win, Denver improves to 46-28, sitting just 5 games behind the second-seeded Houston Rockets. The Western Conference race is tight, only 6 games separate them from the 8th-seeded Timberwolves. 8 games remain, every win matters, every game is a chance to sharpen their edge. If Denver wants another deep playoff run, they need this version of Jokic the rest of the way. But here's the scary part: if a 39-point triple-double is what Jokic looks like after 5 games off, what happens when he's fully locked in for the playoffs? What's perhaps most fascinating is how unassuming his dominance looks in real time. There's no flash, no theatrics. He doesn't scream after buckets or flex after rebounds. He jogs back on defense, face calm, emotions in check, but behind that calm exterior is a player bending the game to his will, and that mental composure is infectious. The Nuggets, when healthy, play like a team that believes it cannot be rattled. That belief starts with Jokic, but this stretch run isn't just about aesthetics or chemistry, it's a war of attrition. The Western Conference is a minefield. 1 week you're second in the standings, a few off nights later and you're slipping toward the play-in zone. That kind of volatility makes every game a test of urgency and execution, and Denver, now sitting in prime position to make a push, has no margin for error. What separates contenders from footnotes at this time of year isn't just talent, it's rhythm, identity and health. The Nuggets finally have all three. The importance of this recent win over Milwaukee isn't just tied to standings or momentum, it's a blueprint for what the Nuggets need to be moving forward. They didn't just win with talent, they won by being locked in on both ends. They communicated on defense, rotated with purpose, turned stops into transition points. Offensively, the ball didn't stick, players moved with intent, screens had force cuts, had timing, everything clicked because the engine behind it all, Jokic, was humming at full throttle. What makes Jokic's presence so valuable is how he simplifies the game for everyone around him. He draws doubles and the ball finds the open man. He's guarded one-on-one and he scores with ease, but even more crucial is his timing. He doesn't just make the right pass, he makes it at the exact right moment. That millisecond precision is what turns good looks into great ones, what transforms shooters like MPJ into flamethrowers and cutters like Braun into consistent threats. It's basketball at its highest IQ, performed by someone who doesn't seem to care about personal glory. And it's not just his offense. Jokic's defense has quietly improved. He's not a shot blocker in the traditional sense, but his positioning, awareness and hands have all elevated. He anticipates passing lanes, walling off drives and tipping balls away before they even reach the paint. He's become a much more vocal leader on that end, directing traffic, anchoring rotations and trusting his teammates to handle switches. That level of communication is part of why Denver looks sharper with him in the lineup, not just offensively but across the board. Looking ahead, the next stretch of games will test Denver's endurance. The schedule tightens, the playoff pressure increases and the physical demands hit harder. But if there's any silver lining to Jokic's 5-game absence, it's that he's now rested and arrested. Jokic in April is a nightmare for the rest of the NBA because when he's physically right, the precision of his game takes on a sharper edge. He starts seeing things defenders can't even anticipate yet, cutters before they cut, double teams before they arrive, and with his conditioning and footwork he can now stay on the floor for long stretches without compromising efficiency. More than any stat though, what defines his greatness is his feel, the sense that he's always 2 or 3 moves ahead, that his decisions aren't just reactions but premonitions. That level of basketball consciousness doesn't come around often, and the Nuggets are built to maximize it. Their system doesn't require him to dominate in isolation or carry the scoring load for 40 minutes. It allows him to read, respond and elevate. Players like Jokic aren't just centers, they're systems unto themselves, which is why the Nuggets' success hinges so much on everyone staying healthy. When the full starting five shares the floor, it's clear just how overwhelming this team can be. Murray's ability to toggle between scorer and facilitator complements Jokic perfectly. MPJ spaces the floor like few wings can, forcing defenses to extend beyond comfort. Gordon's cuts and physicality create chaos. Brun's emergence has added a layer of versatility, giving Denver more lineup options and defensive coverage, and behind them the bench, while inconsistent at times, has started to show signs of growth, particularly with players like Watson stepping into bigger roles with confidence.